everyone. Good evening and welcome to Sunday Rendezvous. Today is Mother's Day for mothers of the Anglican Church and some other Christian denominations. So it is on this note that I say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there who are being celebrated today. This celebration, I believe, is also coming after the International Women's Day, held every 8th of March globally to celebrate women for their resilience, remarkable contributions and achievements around the world. Indeed, women are trailblazers and change makers, and I'm proud to be one. It is in line with these celebrations that we have lined up heartwarming reports for you, especially those that border on women. I am glad you could join us. Do not forget that you can watch us live on our YouTube channel at NTA Enugu, and we begin with the hard news segment. Today is celebrated as Mother's Day for mothers in some Christian denominations worldwide, and in such celebrations, the role of mothers in the society is brought to the fore. Some women are, however, soliciting recruitment, retaining, and developing the diverse talents and knowledge of the womenfold. Chimaroke Ugu reports.
Over the years, women have played pivotal roles in the growth and development of their homes and the nation at large. However, the society has failed to recognize the economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. Women are asking organizations, groups, and individuals to play part in the community, at work, and at home to ensure the needs, interests, and aspirations of women and girls are valued and included.
A woman is a nation. And that is why we have that word, no woman, no nation. So where you have 50% of the population to be women, and you have representation of less than 5% of those women being represented.
At the level of the family, you have the preference of male children to female children. And at the end of the day, it has its own disadvantages. Then at the level of politics and governance, women are excluded from politics and governance.
Women are most times not included. Women are not allowed to express themselves. Women are not allowed to be that which God has made them to be.
It is believed that when a woman has a seat at the table and their voices are heard in shaping policies and initiatives, there will be tremendous growth in all aspects of the society.
To make sure that women are included both in the political sector, both in governance, everywhere, so that women will feel valued.
Requesting for us to be included in decision making, policy making. Also, we are also insisting on handling some leadership positions.
Key players are optimistic that women's equal participation and leadership in political and public affairs are essential to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by the year 2030. In Enugu, Chimaroke Ugu, NTA News.
The wife of the Chief of Air Staff, Takuya Abubakar, has inaugurated projects inaugurated by the Nigerian Air Force Officers' Wives Association, Enugu Ground Training Command. The NAFOA president also performed the groundbreaking of a proposed skill acquisition and vocational training center at NAF quarters. Blessing Anyanwu reports.
Rival, wife of the Chief of Air Staff, paid a courtesy visit on Air Vice Marshal Ground Training Command Enugu, Usman Abdullahi.
Very particular about our relationship with the civil populace, and that is why the NAFOA president has deemed it fit to reach out to our neighbors.
The maiden visit to Enugu afforded her opportunity to interact with officers' wives and unveiled the NAFOA crèche, secretariat, remodeled NAF Children Park, and the groundbreaking of an ultra-modern acquisition center.
I would call on them to continue being resilient, to be compassionate, to continue standing strong for their husbands.
To promote military-civil relationship, President NAFOA also flagged off a medical outreach for pregnant women and children. She also had a timeout with children at a motherless home where she shared gift items in the spirit of International Women's Day.
It means that the military also care about our health. Even when they are there to ensure security, they also care about the health of the people.
In a warm reception, the NAFOA chairperson, Ground Training Command Enugu, Amina Abdullahi, gave account of her stewardship.
Notwithstanding the effort made and our achievements so far, we still have urgent areas of intervention.
She assured to keep promoting interaction and welfare for the poor and the vulnerable in line with the vision of the association. In Enugu, Blessing Anyang, NTA News.
The Meaningful Change and Sustainable Development, the Agents for Citizen-Driven Transformation program, brought in Nigeria through its engagement with civil society organizations, was brought to the fore during the ACT program closure held in Enugu. Ukeria Ugu reports.
The program has the objective of contributing to the achievement of sustainable development in Nigeria through enhancing the capabilities of CSOs and their roles as independent development actors to bring required change. To achieve the program's objective in Nigeria, the ACT program manager, represented by Dr. Ifeoma Chukwuma, said the program has maintained the focus of scaling up results in 2 areas, which include providing organizational capacity development support to selected CSOs in 10 states across the 6 geopolitical zones, and facilitating coordination of CSOs and location, including Enugu State.
It's been a privilege operating in different and dynamic contexts and locations, including Enugu State. So this has been a fabulous opportunity to see how our program intervention has translated into meaningful outcomes.
Reflecting on the progress, results, challenges, and sustainability plan, the Enugu State focal person, Kobi Bo, stated that the selected 23 TSOs in Enugu impacted various communities of the state due to their adoption of predetermined criteria established by European Union.
Some learned poultry making, bead making, some learned ICT how to repair phones in different communities, 6 local governments, 6 communities in Enugu State.
In their separate goodwill messages, the state governor and his wife represented, as well as other stakeholders, commended the program and its impact on the state and called on the CSOs in the state to adopt a sustainability plan.
And I'm glad that they have a virtual program through which they can continue to interact. But the issue is that these advocacy should go down to community basis. Let it continue in that platform so that our people will now learn how to really own government facilities that is given to them.
The British Council and the EU Act that have mapped up programs using the NGOs and CSOs have always been our great partners in progress.
Awards were presented to some CSOs that distinguished themselves in their service to humanity.
We've learned a whole lot from understanding the call to writing the proposal, getting it approved, writing budgets, and all those ones.
ACT program was funded by European Union and implemented by British Council. In Enugu, Ukeria Ugu, NTA News.
Styrofoam containers, popularly known as takeaway food packs, is a popular choice among millions of Nigerians who use it for food consumption and storage, both at home and for outdoor events. However, recent research shows the potential dangers these food containers pose to both human health and the environment. Toyin Batire in this report examines the dangers inherent in the use of styrofoam food packs.
Efere nri styrofoam nke esi na ihe nweta mmanụ ala emepụta bụ nnọọ.
It is no longer news that Nigerians are facing hard times and passing through some economic hardship, and so an appeal has gone to the government and relevant authorities to provide enabling atmosphere and regulations that will encourage mass production and distribution of goods and services to ensure food security and sustainability. This is even as residents of Enugu State lament the continuous increase in the prices of commodities in the market. Chidi Okorafor reports.
To major market in Enugu metropolis revealed the skyrocketing of prices of commodities, a situation both buyers and sellers say has left them stranded in the market.
What are you doing in the market?
Okay, I came to market to buy something. But when I came here, I was very stranded because the price of things is too exorbitant. Just imagine a cup of rice is 300 naira, a cup of beef is 300 naira. So I don't know what to do. And I'm a family with a city issue, a civil servant.
Look what I have here, very small. This is worth more than 10,000 naira. A painter of this thing is 7,000 naira. Is it like beans, but not beans? They call it abobo.
How much did I bring to the market that I will buy just one yam? 2,005. So the thing is suffering. It's not friendly at all.
Traders on their part gave reasons for the exorbitant and continuous increase in the prices of goods and services.
I may not actually say exactly what made me to be costlier, but I can say that it is the condition of Nigeria. Everything has been costly. Meat is even cheaper to what I can see. The other day, I went to buy milk. Milk I used to buy 11,000 naira is now 18,000 something. In a space of 2 weeks.
Selling it according to the price.
Okay, a bag of rice now is 70,000, but before it's about 50,000. It's not our fault.
Various factors have been attributed to be responsible for the economic hardship the country is facing.
Fuel price is the crux of the matter. It affected everything, even the food you eat. The fuel first, then insecurity second. Because if you can only run for your life, no matter what you have in your farm.
Investigation reveals that the astronomical increase in the cost of commodities, leading to economic hardship, has adversely affected the purchasing power of consumers, while traders battle low patronage. Many are of the view that reviving the country's refineries, reduction in taxes, as well as tackling security challenges in the country will go a long way in easing the tension and stabilize the economy. In Enugu, Chidi Okrafo, NTN News.
And still talking about economic hardship, last week there was a story which went viral on the social media about a woman in Enugu who allegedly suffered from depression over hardship and dumped her 3 children at the Ogui police station of the command on Saturday, March 2nd, 2024. The publications further claimed that the woman allegedly committed suicide by running into a moving vehicle in front of the station. But the Enugu State Police Command says it has received the news publications describing it as untrue and misleading, and clarifies that about 30 minutes past 8 o'clock in the morning of that day, the divisional police officers of the Central Police Station, Ogui Police Division, received distress calls alleging that a woman abandoned her 3 children in front of a bus terminal along Ogui Road and ran to an unknown destination. The statement signed by the police public relations officer, DSP Daniel Ndukwe, states that the DPOs moved to the scene and took the children to Ogui Police Station and commenced investigations. During the investigations, the wife of the governor of Enugu State, Mrs. Nkechinyere Mba, was said to have visited the place and offered scholarships for welfare support for the 3 children and handed them over to the State Ministry of Gender Affairs and Social Development. Additionally, the woman's husband was said to have reported to the police station that he noticed the absence of his wife and children at their home. The police report, however, said that the woman never committed suicide but dumped her children due to hardship. We'll take a breather here. Sunday Rendezvous. We'll be right back. Do stay. It's glad to know you're still there. Women are change makers. Women are agents of progress. And that is why the wife of the Enugu State Governor, Mrs. Nkechinyere Mba, has made a call for the acceleration of women's rights, emphasizing on the need to foster a more inclusive and equitable society so that women can thrive. The This was the crux of an event in commemoration of this year's 2024 International Women's Day. Chika Ugu reports.
Speaking on the theme of this year's celebration, Inspire Inclusion, wife of Enugu State Governor said to achieve true inclusion, all hands must be on deck to break down barriers that hinder progress, such as gender-based violence, unequal access to education, healthcare, and discriminatory practices in workplaces. She added that her office is taking steps to address pressing issues of food insecurity affecting countless households in the state.
This year's theme, Inspire Inclusion, propels us to recognize and appreciate the diverse talents, perspectives, and experiences that women bring to the table.
Commissioner for Children, Gender Affairs and Social Development explained that Enugu State, in ensuring gender equality, has supported women, economic empowerment, entrepreneurship and skill development programs, as well as provided 24 hours rescue to gender-based violence cases.
Today, as we unfold the banner of Cancer In, we reaffirm our commitment to ensuring that every woman and girl in Enugu State is included, valued, and empowered to reach her full potential.
There were goodwill messages from UNICEF and other organizations, as well as paper presentations on women in politics and policy making, women in entrepreneurship space, gender issues and inclusion. The International Women's Day is celebrated globally on the 8th of March annually to commemorate the resilience, achievements, and contribution of women in various fields of endeavor.
Indeed, women are change makers and they are trailblazers, and so they deserve to be celebrated. Women parliamentarians have been advised to unite with a shared vision and take significant strides in the quest for inclusivity and representation in parliamentary matters. This was during the second day of the Roundtable Summit on Women Inclusion in Politics to commemorate this year's International Women's Day. Amina Seidu reports.
This is a gathering of women parliamentarians from the 36 states and the FCT for the second day to explore ways of addressing issues and chart the way forward.
The status for women representation in Nigeria is poor, and within the continent, there are countries that perform better than us. But as it is, well, we have less than 5% representation at the national level, not to mention the state assemblies.
In a society where patriarchal norms and systemic biases often hinder women's advancement, we must stand together as allies and advocates.
The theme, Inspiring Inclusion, Policy Mechanisms for Gender Parity in Politics, paved way for discussions.
These advocacies will stem from our cultural heads, because part of our problems have been the knowledge or the nuances or innuendos that women ought not to be trusted with positions of trust or positions as high as headships or leaderships.
When we started this 10th assembly, the number of programs we've had with women is uncountable since inception of this 10th assembly, because of the personality of the women involved in this women in politics projects.
If we really want to change this narrative and we really want to include women, then there has to be a legal framework.
Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, the organizers of the summit, said it is committed to promoting transparency and accountability in policy and decision-making process.
Women parliamentarians there playing active role in politics. And still talking about women and issues bordering on them, Marriage is a union between two or more people that creates family ties with social rights and responsibilities. In Africa, it is usually between a man and a woman. However, it is worrisome when an underage girl child is given out in marriage for reasons such as customs and traditional practices. Erika A.V. in this report examines the impact of money marriage in Cross River State.
Child marriage in Nigeria is becoming worrisome with negative attendant consequences of inadequate educational opportunities, health risk, and poverty devastating the girl child. Even with the Child Rights Act enacted in 2003, setting the age of marriage at 18 years, custom and tradition will not allow the law to prevail. For instance, the popular money marriage of Dorothy Etawa, a native of Becheve village, Obanliku local government area of Cross River State, is trailing reactions from the social media video, as the practice does not allow the Becheve girls to take decision and choose who they may desire to marry.
It is a deprivative. A child who gets married too early will not be able to develop himself to full potential of understanding what marriage is all about. And we know about the implication of VVF.
Money marriage. That means a child is used to pay the indebtedness of the parents. It is so saddening that in today's world, such a thing is happening.
In spite of campaigns by non-governmental organizations and the Cross River State government to create awareness in the community against such practices, the people seems not to relax the age-long practice, believing that a Becheve man without money wife is not regarded enough to speak in the community assembly.
It is not permissible in law. I don't think any custom can also permit that, and it will be allowed to stand because the customs are now subject to what we describe in law as equity, good conscience.
It won't be able to allow the girl to go far, and what God has put in her, the girl will not be able to manifest it.
Some respondents say the archaic and barbaric traditional practice by Bechebe people is a form of modern-day slavery, allowing the girl child to remain in bondage.
That is child abuse, because the child is not given the right to make her own choices.
To give a child like this, my daughter, in her hand in marriage is totally child abuse.
Research shows that Nigeria is the 11th highest prevalence of child marriage. Therefore, concerted efforts by government and private sector involving legal reform, community enlightenment is needed to tackle and end the menace of money wife and child marriage, not just in Cross River State, but Nigeria.
Early child marriage there and its negative impact. And we are at the finish line now, and so this is where we call it a day on this week's edition of Sunday Rendezvous. We thank you so much for being a part of it. Good night and stay blessed.